Hi everyone, welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Blair and today I'm going to be trying out the new Nars Radiant Creamy Color Correctors. I have been waiting to sit down and film this video. I mentioned in my last video I was waiting for these to arrive and they finally came and I could not wait to test these out for you guys. If you're new here, I have dark circles under my eyes always, no matter if I get 8 hours of sleep, 12 hours of sleep, it makes no difference. I always have dark circles, so I'm always testing new correctors, and I love the Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer, so I was so excited to see that they had come out with a color corrector. So if you are interested in my thoughts and first impression on the Nars Radiant Creamy Color Correctors, please keep watching and let's go ahead and get into the video. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. I've been dying to film this video. I ordered these correctors almost 2 weeks ago now, and it was just a huge ordeal getting them delivered, but they finally came. So let's go ahead and put on some eye cream. I'm going to use what I use every single day, which is the Banana Bright from Ole Henriksen, because we do not want to apply corrector to dry under eyes. That is never a good idea. So yeah, I actually ordered these the day they went live on the Sephora app, and I actually have the 2-day flash shipping. You can pay, I think it's $15 a year at Sephora, and you get free 2-day flash shipping, and it's on any order. There's no minimum purchase requirement or anything, and I do that every time I order from Sephora. I never have an issue. I always get my orders super quickly, but with these, for whatever reason, they used laser ship to ship them. First of all, they didn't ship until like 3 days after I had bought them. Then I got a message that they were not deliverable for whatever reason to my house. So I had to call laser ship, and it ended up taking like a week and a half for these to get to me, but they're here now, and I cannot wait to try these. Okay, so I let my eye cream sit for a few minutes, and now we're going to move on to the correctors. I did get 2 shades. I almost just got 1, but then I really wanted to compare the 2, and I thought it might be helpful for somebody if I showed 2 different shades. I got shade light and shade medium. So they come in the same packaging as the Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer, and open it up. So packaging of the actual product looks similar to the Radiant Creamy Concealer, but you can see the corrector shade through the packaging here. And this one is the shade light. One other thing I did want to let you know is that it's not a doe foot applicator, which I was expecting it to be. It's not. It's like a little paintbrush. So there you have light and medium. So as you can see, the medium shade is a lot darker and a lot more orangey than the light. The light is much obviously lighter, and it definitely has a peachy undertone, but it's not as orangey, not anywhere near as orangey as the medium. So very, very curious to try these. These are $30 a piece. They come in 4 shades. I believe it's light, medium, medium deep, and deep. So now that we got all of those things out of the way, let's go ahead and try one of these out. So I think what I'm going to do is put the light shade on this eye and the medium shade on this eye, and we'll compare. So we'll go in with the light shade first. Okay, this is as close as I can get with my camera lens. Hopefully this is okay. So I'm going to start with just one swipe. Typically with correctors, you do not need a lot of product. That's a big mistake that I think a lot of people make, is you go in all over your under eye with the corrector, and then you try to put concealer on top, and it's just way too much product and it makes a huge mess. I usually use a brush to blend out my corrector, so I'm going to use this one. This is the Real Techniques medium shadow brush. And we will start tapping this in. Okay, so right off the bat, I think I definitely could have just gone with the light shade. The light is a lot peachier than I thought it was going to be. I have told you guys I have the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Vanish Corrector, and that one I have in fair and medium. And fair is okay, but it's definitely a little light for me, and I feel like it doesn't correct as well sometimes, so that's why I wanted to get the medium as well, just in case. These are definitely extremely pigmented, like a lot. You saw I barely used any product. Okay, it looks pretty nice under my eye just based on my first impression. It is definitely a little bit of a different consistency, I would say, from the creamy concealer. The creamy concealer to me is a little more of a moussey consistency, whereas this corrector is a little more liquidy than I was thinking it was going to be, but it looks nice under my eye so far. Let me just take my finger and kind of tap in the edges. So there is light. I think that looks pretty good so far. But let's try out the medium. So I feel like the medium is definitely going to be very, very deep for me, but we're going to try it anyway. So we will go in with medium on this side. One thing I will say about the packaging is that the wand gets really, really kind of messy. Just something to keep in mind, but I am noticing that. Okay, so I may have to go in and add more on this side, because I will say I do typically apply a little more corrector under this eye because I do have darkness here, and then I also have a vein that goes like right here under my eye that you can see, and it goes all the way up the side of my face. So I may have to go in with a little bit more, but a little bit went a long way on this eye, so maybe not. So as you can see, I am tapping this in. I just find this works the best, especially under your eyes. If you're trying to color correct, I feel like if you swipe and do all that, you're kind of picking your product up and you're not really color correcting, which is the whole point. So I'm just tapping this in. So as you can see, this side is obviously definitely more of an orangey tone. This one is definitely not as dark, but that's to be expected. Now I'm just gonna take my finger and very lightly tap this in a little bit more. I'm gonna take like the tiniest dot. I don't even know if you can see that. On the outer corner over here. Like I said, I typically do that on this eye just because I have this vein right here that can be kind of difficult to cover up. So I'm just tapping this in. Okay, so here's the two side by side. Obviously this one, the medium shade, is much more noticeable than the light shade because the light is much closer to my actual skin color, whereas this medium shade is definitely a little more orangey. Okay, my camera overheated, so I'm not really sure where I left off, but I was just looking up close here, and I really like this. I definitely prefer just with no other makeup on the light side. I don't really think I needed this medium color over here. I probably could have gotten away with light on both sides, but definitely would be a good color for somebody deeper skin tone than me. I think it's a really good color for correcting. And the finish, you guys, it's been on my eyes for like 10 or 15 minutes now, and it does not look dry. It doesn't look cakey at all. I'm pretty impressed so far. So I think what I'm going to do is apply some concealer, and I'll just speed through it, and then we'll look and see what it looks like with concealer on top, and then I'll do the rest of my makeup and we'll see what everything looks like at the end. So I am going to use today the Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer. I figured since I'm using a Nars Radiant Creamy Corrector, we would use the concealer as well. So I'm going to apply some of this, and then we'll see what everything looks like. Okay, so this is what it looks like with my concealer on. I use the shade Madeleine on both eyes, and I used about the same amount of product on both eyes as well. And honestly, with the concealer on top, I don't think there's that much of a difference. I mean, this side, I guess, maybe looks a little tiny darker than this side, but honestly, they both look pretty close to the same with the concealer on top. And still, you guys, I'm not noticing creasing. I'm not noticing dryness, cakiness, nothing. It looks really good. I'm pretty impressed with this so far. Honestly, I would use either color. It just kind of depends on your skin tone and how dark your dark circles are as to what shade you get. But if you're similar to me, I would say definitely go with the light. I actually think my mom could use the medium shade, so I may try using that on her at some point. But anyway, I'm pretty impressed with this so far. I'm going to go ahead and finish the rest of my makeup, and I'll come back and we'll see how it's looking after it's been on my face for a little bit. Okay, so I finished my makeup, and honestly, you guys, these correctors look so nice. So nice. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit more. Okay, so hopefully you can see. So again, this is the light color. This was the medium color. I applied the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer over it like you saw earlier. And then I applied a little tiny bit of this Pat McGrath under eye setting powder. I used the light shade, which is the white color, and I applied just a little bit of that right in my inner corners, and this is what it's looking like. And I hope that you can see, I mean, my under eyes do not look dry, they don't look cakey, even though I have corrector, concealer, and powder on top. Very impressed. Honestly wondering if this may become one of my top correctors. I don't know. This is the first time I've used it, but based on how it looks right now, I am super impressed. It's kind of hard to explain, but they have just a skin-like look to them. Like, even though they are the peachy correcting tones, they look like skin. They just, something about the texture of these I just really like. I don't know, I'm even thinking I like it better than like my Charlotte Tilbury Magic Vanish Corrector, just looking at it right here. But like I said, this is my first time using it, but I am pretty impressed. So that is going to be it for this video. I hope this was helpful. I love, like I said, to try concealers, but I love to try correctors even more. And I feel like color correctors don't come out that often. So when I saw this from Nars, I jumped on it immediately, and I'm so happy that I did, because so far I have no complaints. No complaints. I will leave an update in my description box. If anything changes, I'm going to kind of watch my under eyes closely for the rest of the day to see how everything's wearing. I mean, I already know I like the Nars Radiant Creamy, but I'm just gonna keep a very close watch on my under eyes, and I will put anything new or my updated thoughts in the description. I will also list the other makeup that I have on my face today, and I did want to let you guys know that I am now on the Like to Know It app. So I am going to be linking my products from now on in my description box. Obviously, if you use a link, I do make a small commission, and I so appreciate it if you do. If you don't, no worries. Either way, I love you so much for watching my video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and go follow me on Instagram at simply.blair. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Remember, simply be you. Bye.